Hello and welcome back to this series of conversation with Mr. Anshuman Rajhans. In this conversation with Mr. Anshuman, I am going to discuss what should be your strategy for this year's main examination. And we are going to focus on the period between the prelim 2020 and the main examination of 2020. So you have barely 3 months time between the prelim and mains. This is certainly less than the usual span of time that the UPSC used to give. But now that we have a little less time, therefore a little of optional preparation earlier was pretty much needed. Having done that, how should you be utilizing your 3 months, and what are the things where you should be placing emphasis, where you should be focusing more effort when it comes to a good preparation for the main examination? So in this discussion, we are going to ask these questions to Mr. Anshuman. So let us start this conversation.
Before the prelims examination, I personally think that first of all, the basic study of every part of the syllabus of GS and optional should be over, and apart from that, at least one time reading should be done so that self-made notes should have been made before the prelims stage. And if at least for some of the off-track topics or small topics note making is left, then that is okay, but definitely note making should be done before the prelims, and even to some extent answer writing should be done, but even if it has not started yet on a larger scale, then it can be done after the prelims also. Regarding GS preparation after the prelims, I would like to discuss under several heads. First regarding even if note making is left, and after then about the answer writing, and apart from that current affairs is also important, particularly for GS paper 2 and 3, and to some extent also for 1, 4 and essay also. And apart from that, revision is utmost important for every stage, especially for the main stage also. So first regarding the note making, it should be done before the prelims, but definitely if some part is left, the notes should be like if one has read the book, so first the note should be short, because if a note is very much lengthy, it is not possible to revise at the end such lengthy notes at the end. And the main purpose of making notes is that the content that one has should be on the fingertips, because one will revise notes a lot number of times, one will update it, so the whole content will come on the fingertips, and that is the sole purpose of making notes. That is very much important. Definitely it will take time. And regarding the length of the notes, first it should be around 100 pages. So there are 4 GS papers, 100 pages on an average. It can be also 120, 130 depending on the length of the GS paper, depending on person to person also. So on an average 100 pages per GS paper, 100 into 4, 400 pages, and similarly about 300 to 400 pages for the optionals. So roughly about 700 to 800 pages or 100 pages for current affairs. So 800 to 900 pages, that is the maximum length that one can revise at the end. So that will be the maximum length, and the whole purpose is to make the notes concise, but at the same time it should be comprehensive also, because if notes is short, that doesn't mean that you don't have to write everything. That should be comprehensive, but at the same time concise also. So one has to maintain a fine balance between making notes comprehensive and at the same time concise. And regarding the time that it will take, personally I think that if one has read the whole syllabus and one is doing the second reading, so I think for a GS papers per paper it will require about 1 month. 1 month and into 4, roughly 3 to 4 months will be required for the GS only. That is the main purpose why I am saying that note making should be done before the prelims. So if it is not possible to do everything before the prelims, so one should have the approach that one should make notes of the bigger sections like history, geography, polity, economics, ethics before the prelims, and even some small off-track topics like disaster management, security management, or IR, international relations, that can be handled after prelims also, but definitely bigger topics should be done and their note making should be done before the prelims. Regarding the sources of making notes, definitely making notes from one source will not suffice. because the examination is such that it requires a comprehensive understanding. So for the first time one is reading a basic book. For example, take as an example, one is reading history, modern India, let's say. So he can be reading first from the NCERT, and then after shifting to some book like Rajiv Vahi's Spectrum book, and even refer certain chapter from other books like Bipin Chandra, only required chapter, not line to line reading. So after having these kind of reading that I call the first reading, then he would be in a position to judge what is regarding any event. Means I want to say that he would be having conceptual clarity, understanding of the whole topic. And now even he can he or she can consult some of the coaching notes. Then he will be in a position to know whether any secondary material or reference material is useful to what extent. Then he is or she is in that position, then he can consult the NCERT or even the basic book like Spectrum, and even some of the coaching material, and amalgamate it in a such a way that it is very much comprehensive, and at the same time it is small also, that at the end he or she can revise effectively. Regarding current affairs, on a daily basis, I used to follow one newspaper religiously, that was The Hindu, and sometimes the explained page of Indian Express, because that also contains some of the important articles with a lot of information and analysis. And apart from that, even one follows a monthly magazine. That is more than enough for current affairs. This much is required because this has to be done, because the examination demands such amount of preparation for current affairs, but not beyond that, because beyond that that will be totally time waste. And regarding mains, especially if the focus of current affairs is there, then current affairs can be used in two ways. One is a direct question is there from the current affairs. For example, a particular question can pop up regarding pros and cons of making Article 317 operative in Jammu and Kashmir. So this is direct question from the current affairs. And the second can be, there can be one question on inclusive growth. That is a static question. That's not a question from the current affairs. But if one has read some indices that is published, that what is India's rank and how much is the Gini coefficient of India. So that current affairs is adding value to the static answer. So there are two ways of making use of current affairs. So one is direct question and other is using it as a fodder material. So when one is reading newspaper or a monthly magazine as a things that some of the information can be used as a fodder material, then therein there itself one should update his static notes with that current affairs. Because if he or she is not doing that, then in no case he would be reproducing it in the exam, because the pressure is such, because if one has not revised, then that will not get easily reproduced in the exam. This is one thing, and second, regarding direct question comes from the current affairs. And what is my personal experience, that direct question directly from the current affairs, even if I talk of GS paper 2 or GS paper 3, out of 20 questions, roughly 3 or 4 questions will be directly from the current affairs. So regarding the last 2 years, one can easily select some of the issues which are very much important, which can be asked, because if a question is directly from the current affairs, such question will be very much important that UPSC will be interested in asking. That will not be any unusual type of question. So one can easily select 20 or 30 important issues that have happened in the last year or last 1 to 2 year, and make a comprehensive reading just after the prelims and before the mains, 20 to 30 topics for full 1, 2, 3, 4 papers, mainly for paper 2 and 3, and prepare those 30 topics comprehensively from various sources as possible, and that will be the best strategy for handling such a kind of questions. Making self notes definitely will be more important, but at the same time, let's say there is a COVID issue, a question will definitely come, maybe in polity, that what has been the effectiveness of the government's steps, or maybe in the disaster management, what are the NDMA guidelines regarding controlling epidemic. So if one has read, one has understanding, but definitely one can lack some certain aspects, certain facts, certain analytical points. So for referring those points, getting some extra advantage, getting some extra knowledge, one should definitely refer some coaching compilation, because they have been prepared thoroughly by some experts. But definitely one cannot totally rely on it. One has to rely on the self notes, but definitely that should be supplemented by the notes or the material by the coaching institutes.
Right.
Regarding answer writing, I personally think that if I talk of general studies mains papers, There are two important pillars. One is the note making and second is answer writing. These are the two utmost important pillars, and if I have to name third, that will be current affairs. So definitely, even if I have to name one, out of all these three, I will personally say that answer writing is the most important, because if one is from that background where one would be in the habit of expressing what he knows, then definitely for him or her, definitely answer writing will not be that much difficult. But definitely, what is the expectation of UPSC and what is the level of competition? So definitely one has to master this particular skill, and definitely it cannot start from day one, because from the day one would not be having such an amount of knowledge that this particular process or this particular exam demands. So definitely one has to learn and get the things right. One has to gain knowledge. One has to develop some analytical perspective of the different things, and definitely interlinkages of different subjects has to be done. After then, answer writing will be effective. So I personally think that 4 to 5 tests, mock tests should be written before prelims, so that one can get an idea that what is the demand of this exam and what is the demand of answer writing, what one is strong at. One can be strong at writing introduction, conclusion, but definitely he would be facing different problems. I personally think that 4 or 5 tests should be given before the prelims, so that one can know what are his or her strengths and weaknesses, so that after the prelims one can work on the weaknesses. And regarding test series, definitely I personally think that even if one is not joining coaching, but definitely one should join test series, because there would be some schedule, because there is a lot of inertia. One doesn't want to write because a lot of inertia is there. One just thinks that okay, I will read a lot, then after one day I will start writing, and that process lingers on and keeps on going, and one only starts after prelims. And there is the demerit, because the time has come, the prelims has passed, and now there is not much time. So definitely, even it cannot start from day one, but definitely after reading certain topics, if one has covered history, then definitely he should write answer writing, start answer writing. Even from the basic, start practicing the NCERT questions itself. Definitely he will get an idea. But after the prelims, one should join test series. There will be a strict schedule. One will be forced to write, and definitely one will improve. And regarding honing the answer skills, I personally think that it has 3 aspects. The first is the content aspect. That will definitely come if one has read and made notes. That cannot come directly by answer writing. Second is the timing factor, because that is very much important. One would easily hear that some of the students have left 2 or 3 questions in the GS papers. That normally happens especially for the first attempters, because timing management is very much difficult for the GS papers, and that will only come if one is used to writing, has written about 500 to 600 questions in total for GS mains. I personally think that 125 to 150 questions per paper should be written, so about 500 to 600 questions should at least be written before the mains. And apart from that, regarding the structure and the presentation aspect, and definitely presentation is very much important, because if one thinks from answer checkers point of view, everyone lacks patience, because if one has to do that repetitive task. So it should be the job of the answer writer to make the job easier for the answer checker, so that he can easily check his or her copy. If the handwriting is good, if the pages are filled up properly, if there are subtitles, if there are diagrams, if the context is proper, if there are 2 parts of the question, both have been attended with subtitles, so that the answer checker can easily know that both the parts have been answered in the context, so that the process will become easy for the answer checker. So he will be in a very good mood to give good marks, because the presentation is correct. And regarding structure or writing introduction, conclusion, definitely it will come with time, and definitely after writing 500 questions to 600 questions, it comes. The last cycle of revision, I personally think should be done in the last month. This year there are only 3 months, so first 2 months should be there for revision and giving test series and analyzing the performance, what has been the strength or weaknesses. The last one, that is the mains, is from January first week. So the whole of December should be reserved for revision itself. If one has to break down 15 days for GS papers and 15 days for optionals, on an average basis, it can vary from person to person and optional to optional. And because that will be the 4th time one would be going for revision. 1 or 2 times revision would be done before the prelims while writing notes, and 1 time before joining the test series while writing the tests, and that will be the last time revision, and that should be holistic. And few things that one needs to keep in mind is that one should focus at that time only on the notes, because notes would be such that there would be no need to consult the books again. So even one or even two time if a revision is done of the self-made notes, I said that in the whole length of the notes will be about 800 pages to 900 pages. So just one has to revise 900 pages, and 900 pages can be revised at least 2 times in the last month. So if that effective revision 2 times has been done, then definitely content will be on the fingertips. And even one can note something that there are GS papers, so paper 1, paper 2 will be on one day, the second day will be paper 3 and 4, so one will be hardly having 3 to 4 hours to revise. So even one can mark that what all things one can revise just 3 or 4 hours a day before the exam. So that also helps a lot, because one would be having because the last time revision or even last time thinking that okay, this thing has to be done in the examination, I have to write, I have to quote some reports, I have to write the name of the scheme, or I have to write some facts, some objective facts, or some name of the committees. Even the last minute attitude helps a lot. So definitely while revising, one should keep in mind that what would be the things that one would be revising one day before the final examination. The main thing is revision, but definitely there are certain aspects that will be small things, but definitely small things getting accumulated yields bigger results. So last time what I did different from the last to last attempt was that I just revised only last to last time when I was giving 2017 mains. But in the 2018 mains, what I did, I didn't revise the notes. I had already revised 2 to 3 times in the last month. Just I picked up the syllabus. I was knowing that from let's say for example in GS paper 1, 4 to 5 questions will be from the social issues. So 1 question will be from communalism or secularism. So just I revised the topic in my mind. Just I was thinking of certain case studies that I will have to write, because a certain question will have to come, and definitely basic content will be there, but what one can make different, that one can quote various examples. For example, the case of Jammu and Kashmir or the case of Punjab militancy. So every syllabus, just I memorize the syllabus, what is there and what can I do extra, what diagrams can be there, or what extra things I can write in the introduction or conclusion, in which part of the syllabus I can, for example for history, I can write timeline or dates or certain events as an extra, or in the introduction I can create background, or in the conclusion I can write something like that this particular event created the background for the further events to take place, and what were the further events. This will be for the history. What I can do for geography, okay, certain diagrams will give certain 1 to 2 marks extra, or even the 1 to 2 fixed question is there, because every time geography 1 question will be there regarding water stress or water harvesting or water set management. That is fixed. Even for the last 3 years UPSC has been asking. So definitely I kept in mind at that time, because I was having the experience, because last time just I thought of the syllabus and what extra can be done regarding basic content, because one would be having, but just one has to accumulate it. Be it the name of the schemes, or be it certain facts, or be it one can quote current affairs, be it I can quote certain diagrams, be it that I have to write subtitles irrespective of the question, be it I have to fill up the pages how much can, irrespective of how much content I would be having, because in certain questions definitely I would lack certain amount of content. First of all, I personally think that just after the prelims, one can dedicate 1 week for revising the optionals, because होगा ऐसा कि for the last 2 months just before the prelims, one would be in the prelim focused preparation. So generally it happens that one leaves optional or just reads optional for 1 day in a week. So definitely that touches off for 1 or 2 months, and even after writing prelims, one feels that one has forgotten everything about the optional, because he or she would not be in the touch with the optional. So for 1 week he or she can revise the optional, and the same thing that is there for the GS applies for the optionals also, because one has to make notes, and the notes should be completed before the prelims. Similarly regarding answer writing, as answer writing is important for general studies, in the similar manner answer writing is also important for the optionals also. And apart from that, it will depend on optional to optional whether current affairs is important or not. And apart from that, revision is of utmost importance. I am from a science optional, so I will say that revision is of utmost importance. Even one would be of the level of scoring 300 plus in any case, and if last minute revision is not done, there would not be कोई ऐसा ऐसा नहीं होगा कि फिर अगर 50 या 60 नंबर कम हो जाते हैं कोई बड़ी बात नहीं होगी, बिकॉज ऑप्शनल में स्पेशली साइंस ऑप्शनल में रिविजन इज़ द की. So everything that applies for general studies also applies for the optionals, and I personally think that 50%, 50% time division should be done for general studies and optionals. But definitely, if one has more confidence in the optional, if it would have been his graduation subject, so one can dedicate more time to general studies, like 60% time to general studies and 40% time to optionals. Definitely one should go for test series and answer writing. Test series is important as it is for general studies and also for the optionals also. And if it is the first attempt for any aspirant, I personally think that for sailing through the mains and getting the interview call, roughly 25 tests should be attempted for general studies, roughly 10 for the optionals, and roughly 5 for the essay. So at least 40 test papers in the time format manner of 3 hours should be done, and if it is the first attempt, and if it is the second attempt, then one would be knowing his strength or weakness. He would be knowing that okay, he is good in optional, so he can proceed forward for the general studies as is the demand. Regarding of the essay preparation, from the last 2 years, that is from 2017, the approach of the essay paper has been that one of the sections has been full of philosophical essays. One is forced to write one, and one section is full of the GS related essays. So for philosophical essays, the main thing is practice only. So one doesn't has to read a lot, but definitely if one has read certain philosophers, definitely that can be quoted, but definitely reading like that of general studies or optional is not required. And for GS related topics, definitely one has read all the GS papers, that has to be quoted. So definitely the main preparation is done of general studies. That will definitely help in the essay preparation. But definitely, having said that, a little preparation has to be done, but then that cannot be neglected. Even GS related topics are there, but if I analyze the topics, if I will name 7 to 8 topics like health, education, women empowerment, agriculture, issues related to federalism, use and misuse of technology, climate change causes, and what further mitigation and adaptation measures can be taken. Apart from that, artificial intelligence, that is IR 4.0, what should be the steps taken by the government or what can be done. So if these are the 7 to 8 topics, that at least one out of these 7 to 8 topics will be there in the exam. Right from 2016 to 2019, at least one of the topic was there. So because these are the evergreen topics and these are the very comprehensive topics, any particular exam will be forced to ask such topic. So one has to in-depth prepare these topics from the essay point of view. Even health and education is in GS paper too, but one should prepare it from essay point of view in a very comprehensive manner. That if essay comes, that's okay. Even if 10 or 15 marker question comes, then one can easily write if one is able to write essay on it. And for philosophical essays, definitely one has to read certain philosophers, philosophies. Even the knowledge of ethics papers also helps a lot, because there was one topic that wisdom finds the truth. So definitely one can comprehend, write various examples and prove this particular point. But if one has a lot of understanding, lot of vast knowledge, right from the history to ethics to politics or to sports to cinema, so one can quote various examples. That helps a lot. So one can prepare that from essay point of view, but definitely that will not require a lot of time, but at least that preparation has to be done. And from a pre-examination point of view, the main thing is practice. Philosophical essay will require practice, a lot of practice, but the practice should be done of the previous year essays that have been asked by the UPSC. Roughly 12 to 15 topics will be there. If one has attempted all those 12 to 15 topics, one's confidence will be boosted and one will be in a position to write philosophical essay now onwards in a very integrated and comprehensive manner. And for the GS topics also, one can join a test series or even attempt the previous year essays asked by UPSC. And from the point of view, while one is writing essay in the examination, so I personally think that mind-boggling should be done for at least half an hour. So 3 hours is there, at least 15 minutes per topic. Even I would say that if one is of the habit of thinking half an hour for each of the 2 topics, that will also be okay if one can write easily in 1 hour after that. So mind boggling or even thinking from the various aspects, because that is the critical aspect. If one has thought, then definitely one can easily write, because one is in a position to write the GS related answer, so one can easily write what he has thought. But that thought process for 1 hour, half hour for each of the topics, that helps a lot. That will boost the quality of the essay, the comprehensiveness of the essay, and the completeness of the essay. And regarding checking of essays by UPSC, I would personally say that introduction and conclusion depends a lot. Even one has not written introduction or conclusion in effective manner, then the marks can easily be hampered, because while after reading the introduction, the attitude of the question checker will be in such a manner that okay, the essay has not started properly, or if it has ended in an abrupt manner, then after that he would be awarding the marks. So introduction and conclusion should be written in a very elaborate and in a very comprehensive manner or in an effective manner, and even one has to give more time, then one should give more time to write introduction and conclusion, and make more use of GS related topics. Quote everything from GS 1, 2, 3, 4, automatically points will come. Quote various examples, quote personalities, even one can make use of a map of India or graphs if it is required to be done, but do not write in point wise manner as it is written in GS answers. And flow should be proper. There should not be abrupt change in from one paragraph to another paragraph, because that hampers the flow, and even that sends a negative signal to the essay checker. I personally think that while interacting with many of those, the main thing is note making, answer writing, making certain use of current affairs, and then revision. This is the whole process. Even if one process lacks, the results are counterproductive. If one thing is left, then definitely that costs a lot. One only learns after giving that attempt. And if what are the don'ts that should not be done, I have personally done that mistake, that I used to think that I should first read a lot, then definitely answer will become effective. I used to I would not say laziness, but definitely that sort of attitude was there. Okay, even I would write less, that will not definitely have negative impact, because if I will study, I can easily write good answers. So that was the negative thing that I was having. So I would say that one should not have that, because if I face that, so I would like to share that weakness or that sort of misconception that I was having. And apart from that, one used to consult a lot of sources. That is also one of the bad things that is done by aspirants. Like for current affairs, if one is consulting any particular coaching, that is good, but what one does, that in order to have more of confidence, one would consult various coaching, this coaching, A coaching, B coaching, C coaching, and that everything will be messed up. So that should not be done, and that usually happens because after the prelims, if 1 month passes, one would be in that pressurized situation. The mind will be acting like a pressure cooker, and even if one person says that okay, you are doing current affairs from one source, that will not suffice, then definitely even he would be knowing that he would be doing wrong thing, but he will be compelled to do that, because the mind is in such a frame. So one should be knowing that what he is doing and what can be its result. So these are the things that I have done wrong, so I would like to share my misconception, and that should not be done.